You ever set a goal so big it just feels impossible? The kind that makes you think, where do I even begin? Well, today we're going to break down a plan for one of the most ambitious goals I've ever come across. We're going to see how you can take a massive, almost scary number and turn it into a simple, repeatable daily system. So how exactly do you build a $500 million machine? Let's dive in. Okay, here's the number. $500 million. That's 500 million. That's the actual transaction volume that one Indianapolis broker, Cara Conde, has publicly targeted for 2026. I mean, that is a staggering figure in any industry, right? But it's especially mind-blowing in a regional real estate market. This is the kind of goal that takes more than just hustle. It requires a machine. So, the first question that pops into your head is, how on earth do you even start to tackle a number like that? I mean, is it just about knowing all the right people? Or, being in the perfect place at the perfect time? Or is there something else going on here? And this quote, this one really gets to the heart of it. The whole strategy isn't about, the old school way of networking over lattes and just hoping for the best. Nope. It's about manufacturing leads. It's a total shift from that reactive, relationship-based model to something that's proactive and systematic. So what in the world is this industrial-grade lead engine? Okay, what's so powerful here is just how specific this definition is. This isn't some fuzzy high-level concept. It is a precise, measurable process. The system is literally built to contact 1,250 fresh property owner leads. And get this, not per week, not per month, but every single day. That, right there, is the engine. So an engine like this obviously needs some serious fuel, and that comes from a specific tech stack. It all starts with pulling raw property data from places like PropStream, CoStar, and even public county assessor websites. Then a tool like Apollo.io comes in and does its magic, enriching that raw data, finding all the contact info for the owners. After that, ZeroBounce makes sure all those emails are actually legit so they don't bounce. And Zapier is kind of the glue that automates the workflow between all these different apps. And finally, the whole shebang is managed and tracked in a CRM like Salesforce. This is the tech that makes that crazy daily volume even possible. All right, so we've got the huge goal, and we've got the tools. Now let's look at how it all actually comes together. Let's walk through the daily blueprint, from sunrise to sunset. Just a quick glance at this schedule shows you this day is, well, it's ruthlessly structured. It kicks off with gathering intel before the sun is even up. Then it dives headfirst into heavy data processing. From there, it's all about outreach and deal-making, and it wraps up with analysis. Every single hour has a job. There is absolutely zero ambiguity here. Okay, so that first half of the day, it's dedicated to one thing and one thing only, preparing the data. Because in this system, high-quality data isn't just, important. It's everything. It's the fuel that makes this whole engine roar to life. And this right here, this just perfectly illustrates that process. It's like a 4-step data assembly line. So step 1, pull about 1,500 raw records. Step 2, prep that data, which means getting rid of all the duplicates, cleaning it up. Step 3, enrich it using a tool like Apollo to find all that juicy contact info. And finally, step 4, verify the list to make sure you get near-perfect email deliverability. So raw, messy data goes in one end, and a surgically clean list of 1,250 contacts comes out the other, every single morning. All right, so once that data pipeline is filled to the brim, the focus of the day totally shifts. The afternoon, that's where the machine actually meets the market. It's time to turn all that pristine data into real conversations and, hopefully, real deals. Let's just pause on this number again for a second. 1,250. That's the number of contacts made every single day. That's the output of the morning's data factory, and it's the input for the afternoon's outreach blitz. It's this sheer volume that creates predictability in the whole system. So you might be wondering, what does contacting 1,250 people every day actually produce? Well, this funnel basically shows us the math. Out of all those contacts, the system flags about 350 of the absolute hottest leads for direct calls and texts. And the daily goal from all that effort? It's to set 8 to 10 new listing appointments. It's a straight line from massive outreach to a really concrete, high-value business outcome. And we're talking about high-value, expert-level work here. The appointments that are generated by the machine fill the day with things like underwriting deals, which is just, vetting the financials to make sure it's a solid investment, and advising on really complex tax strategies like 1031 exchanges.
The system even carves out time for sending handwritten notes to the most important targets. It's a perfect partnership. The machine creates the opportunities, and human expertise closes them.
But here's the really cool part. This isn't just a brute force approach, throwing numbers at a wall to see what sticks. The whole system is designed to learn. It's not static. It actually evolves and gets better with every single action.
And this is absolutely the vital part, the secret sauce. Every single piece of feedback is captured. A successful appointment, it's logged. An email bounces back, it's logged. Someone opts out, you guessed it, it's logged. All this information is then fed back into the system to refine the targeting, tweak the messaging, and just make the whole engine more efficient for the next day. It's basically a self-correcting system. Okay, so when you zoom out from all the details, you realize this isn't just a story about real estate, right? It's actually a blueprint. A blueprint for tackling any massive goal you might have by breaking down a huge outcome into a manageable daily process.
This slide just perfectly sums up the two different mindsets. You've got the traditional approach, it's reactive, it's based on networking, and it really relies on your relationships, which makes growth super unpredictable. Then you have this system approach, which is the complete opposite. It's proactive, it's data-driven, and because it relies on a process, the results are repeatable and, this is the key, scalable. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for growth anymore, you are literally engineering it.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. Just for a second, forget about the specific tools or the industry we've been talking about. I want you to think about your own biggest, most audacious goal. Instead of asking yourself, can I do it? The much more powerful question to ask is, what is the daily, repeatable machine I could build that would make my goal inevitable? That is the real lesson hiding inside this $500 million plan.